Sound issues.
This is FNG Madden. I was born to be a champion, raised in the jungle. All my life, yeah, I had to fight. FNG, let's go back tonight. I was born to be a champion, raised in the jungle. All my life, yeah, I had to fight. FNG, let's go back tonight. You can move on your own. We just moves, dancing in the end zone. Crush groove. All we do is get dubs. Hate to lose. We can do this all day. No snooze. Don't get it poppin' if you saying that you poppin', dog. Never will I lose to a dude. Just won't happen, y'all. Call a deep pass. Watch flash. What you trying for? Gonna pass the chips. Better yet, put on up quick. Hear 'em hating from the side. Twitch watch. I guess you say it's about time. TikTok. FNG, where we at? On top. Other leagues can't win.
All right, let me see here. Hey, what's up, FNG? This is Hosyan, aka Boarding Kenya 22. We're going live here on our podcast show 63. I have a couple guys joining me tonight. As always, appreciate you fellas joining me. We have Philly Jedi, Tony Tranks.
Greetings, everyone. Good to finally be back after all these years. Weeks, days. Glad we got something going on.
Thanks. And then we also joining us, we got Mike Wright, the Steelers owner.
What's up, FNG family? Good to see y'all again.
And last but not least, we got Harris, the Chargers owner, joining us as well.
What is going on, FNG fam? How everybody feel?
All right, so we got a lot of weeks to cover on this show. So let's get to it. What we're gonna do the standings here.
Yes, sir. We're going to do the standings, and just so everyone knows who's watching, we're going over weeks 5 through 11. We're currently in week 11 now. So we're going to do FNG standings, starting with the AFC North.
All right, hold on, let me get you.
We have the Ravens at 7-3. We have the Bengals tied at 7-3. So they're, the Ravens and Bengals are tied for first. We have the Browns in third at 4-6, and we have the Steelers at 3-7. Heading to the AFC South, we have the Titans, brand new Titans at 10-0. We have the Texans at 6-4, second place. We have the Colts at 4-6, and we have the Jaguars at 0-10. Heading up to the AFC East, we have the Patriots at 6-3, leading the division. We have the Bills at 4-5. We have the Dolphins at 3-6 in third place, and we have the Jets at 1-8. Heading on to the AFC West, Chargers at 9-0, Chiefs at 6-3, the Broncos at 4-5, and the Raiders at 4-6. Heading over to the NFC, but in NFC North, we have the Vikings and Bears both at 5-4, Packers at 4-5 with the pivotal game against the Bears this week, and we have the Lions rounding out the division at 0-9. Heading out to the NFC South, with the Panthers at 8-2, Falcons at 6-4, and they're tied for, third place. Saints and Bucks are both 2-7. Heading on to the NFC East, Washington football team 6-3, with the Cowboys at 5-4, With the Giants at 4-5, the Eagles round the division at 3-6. Wrapping it up with the NFC West, we have the Seahawks at 8-2, a strong 8-2. We have the Rams, with the 49ers at 7-3 and the Rams at 6-3. I think the 49ers have won a game played more than the Rams. So they'll call them tied for now. And the Cardinals rounding out the division at 2-8. And that is the FNG standings as of week 11.
Okay. And we're just going to jump into the stats while we're here.
Yes, sir. Lightning round.
Lightning round. Ba-boom. All right. These stats are as of the end of week 10. Pat Mahomes is the leading quarterback with 3,334 yards passing, followed by Jared Goff and Gardner Minshew, which Gardner is a surprise considering how many of those games have been AP.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes is leading with 34 touchdown passes, followed by Jordan Love and Russell Wilson. And Marcus Mariota has the highest QB rating of quarterbacks with a significant number of passes at 135.6, followed by Joe Burrow and Teddy Bridgewater. Dalvin Cook is leading the league with 1,401 rushing yards, followed by Kalen Ballage and Antonio Gibson. J.K. Dobbins is leading with 21 touchdowns, followed by Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey. The Washington football team has put a load on Antonio Gibson with 196 carries, followed by Khalfani Muhammad and Kalen Ballage. Hollywood Brown is leading with 1,634 receiving yards, followed by Amari Cooper and Alvin Johnson of the Seahawks. Alvin Johnson also has 19 touchdowns, followed by Hollywood Brown and Amari Cooper. And Cooper Kupp has 80 receptions, followed by Amari Cooper and Alvin Johnson. On defense, Anthony Davis of the Titans is leading with 15 interceptions, followed by Dirty Derwin and Keanu Neal. Dirty Derwin has 5 forced fumbles, followed by Alex Anderson of the Seahawks, DeForest Buckner, and Fletcher Cox. Chase Young is leading the league with 13.5 sacks, followed by Alex Anderson and Fletcher Cox. Bobby Wagner and Steve Denmark both have 15 tackles for losses, followed by Jalen Smith and Fred Warner. And Nathan Vasher has 5 defensive touchdowns, followed by 8 different people that have 2 defensive touchdowns. Sam Sloman of the Rams is 12 for 12 in field goals, followed by Cairo Santos and Kiame Fairbairn. Justin Tucker has kicked 54 out of 60 extra points, followed by Michael Badgley and Chase Wood. Jamie Gillen and Cody Parker and Tommy Townsend of the Chiefs all have 3 touchbacks at punter. Tress Way of the Washington football team has the longest punt at 70 yards.
Damn.
Jake Elliott of the Eagles has a 58-yard field goal. The longest interception return is 103 yards from Darnell Savage. The longest rush of the year, and nobody is going to beat it, is TJ Logan of the Raiders at 100 yards. The longest pass is Tua Tagovailoa to Rotten Tomato for 97 yards. The Eagles' Philip Lindsay has the longest kick return at 102 yards, and Tyreek Hill has the longest punt return at 86 yards. Now, on to games of the week, starting with week 5.
All right, before we do it, let me get this highlight going, and then we will jump into that. So give me a sec here.
While he goes to cue that up, anything stand out to you in week 5? Mike?
I didn't watch a lot of games in week 5, if I remember correctly.
How about that Pittsburgh
looking-
Steelers and Patriots game? Did you watch that one?
Nope. Obviously not.
Steelers go down 28-34. Was that, were you on AP that game?
No, I played.
Okay.
There we go.
I mean, Muhammad went off for 293 yards.
Get it out the mud, that's what my mama said. Never trust a hoe, that's what my daddy said. Just to get a
Let's see.
my sister said. Make them haters mad, that's what my brother said. That's what my brother said.
Lower the volume a bit, Ocean.
Get back to always take my shot, it be the full clip. Grind never stop. Just
Yeah, me lower it and it.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's say Buffalo, big win over Washington football team, 38-35. That was a win I wasn't expecting. Let's see. I beat the Cleveland Browns 55-52. I don't get a whole lot of wins against Dill. Not a whole lot of defense in that game. Looks like we both were low scoring until the fourth quarter and both dropped 28 in the fourth quarter. Nothing special about that game other than the fact that I beat him.
And defenses stayed in another stadium.
Yeah, they left at the third quarter. Let's see. Baltimore dropped 70 on Arizona. Denver over Minnesota 27-22. That's really it for week 5. Anything else?
No.
Seattle over Dallas. Important win for Seattle to stay on top of the West. But that's really it. That's really it. So moving to week 6. Let's see. Green Bay beats Kansas City 48-37.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Let's see. Chicago beats Minnesota 38-18. With the division being so close, that was an important win. Let's see. Tennessee Titans beating the Broncos 38-17. Anybody see this game?
Nope.
Let me see something. This looks like a game Chaz played. It looks like he got shut down, but honestly, I'm not sure if this game was played or was this an AP game. Because Chaz has been having issues getting his games in as of late. Giants in a close one against Miami, 30-27. Seattle over San Francisco, 24-16. Anybody watch this game? I did. Only thing I remember about this game, it was close, and he's running a really, really tight scheme that makes it difficult to stop his offense. I mean, I lost by 8 points, but I think the game ended closer than it actually was. It's good exposure to his new offense. Russell Wilson had a good quarterback rating, 140.1, but not a whole lot of pass yards. He was just really efficient. 87% completion, no turnovers. So not turning the ball over is important. Even though we both didn't, I'm sure there was a ton of punting. So I'm looking forward to the next time we face each other. That was a good game. I'll stand out. Rams had a close one with the Eagles. Anything else stand up to you guys? Oh,
New
Texans
Orleans
beating the Falcons. Yeah, that was a big game. Falcons are trailing big to the Panthers in this division, NFC South. Houston, that was a big win for them to keep pace with the Titans since they're still undefeated. So that was a big win for Dog week 6 again over Falcons. What did you say about New Orleans?
New Orleans over Tampa Bay on a close one without a whole lot of defense.
Yeah. Like they were going up and down the field. I wonder what the turnover battle looked like on there. Let me see. 2-1, so not too many turnovers. Important win, which means that they were still playing. You know what I mean? Versus some people last season. We're in the 4th season for all those watching. We're in the 4th season of our league. And a lot of times people just check out. It's good to see that, people still playing their games. Heading on to week 7. Titans get a chance to show their dominance in the AFC South, 24-3 over Houston. Titans are really looking good this season. I think they're 10-0, and they're looking to potentially be a real force in the playoff if they stay consistent for the second half of the season. Houston might end up as a wild card team meeting these guys in the playoffs, so they're going to have to step their game up if they want to be competitive. And then the Falcons going down to the Washington football team. I was not expecting the score to be like that. But anything else stand out for you guys?
Not really.
Let me see. KC down in Cleveland by 10, 45-35. Let's see. Denver all over Green Bay. Chaz definitely stepped up in this game, 42-26. Let's see. I think stand out. How was that game against the Ravens, Harris? 63-35. Ravens were on a big roll before this. Tell us how you did that.
My goal was to I knew J.K. Dobbins was going to get the yards that he was going to get. So my goal was like if he gets into the red zone, it can be a quarterback. And exactly his first turnover was in the red zone. I got him out of the pocket, and I made sure I had enough coverage downfield, picked him off, and the momentum just shifted from there. And I knew that he had a problem with the running game, so I just fed Balaj and said Balaj got beat. And then when I knew he just sort of run committed towards that, I just threw the ball over the top. That's exactly that was exactly my game plan for this that game. And just so happened we played, the momentum we had, played good defense, kept running the ball, came out with a W.
Roger that. Makes sense. Giants' big win over the Eagles. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but that's all that looks like stands out in week 7. Anything stand out to you guys? Nothing?
No.
Jets had a close one against Buffalo.
Yeah, I had a close one against the Vikings too.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Raiders, Vikings, 37-31. What made you lose that one, Josian?
Actually, I should have lost, but I had that last minute field goal block at the end of regulation. He was gonna kick it to win it, and then he just beat me in overtime. But he had I think of one drive where it was 4th down, and he got me on that damn fake field goal again, which he kept his drive alive. And I think that drive right there when he scored was the momentum shifter.
Okay.
I had him. My run defense was I was doing pretty well on the defense, and my running game, he couldn't stop my running game. So I think that week, if I'm not mistaken, stat wise, Logan I think he won Player of the Week that week because of his rushing. Yeah, he had 284 yards.
Jesus.
4 touchdowns. Yeah, so
That was his 100-yard rush too, wasn't it?
yeah, exactly. That big run that he had me down at the goal line, and I managed to break out and score that touchdown. So, and you were quick to post that clip. Yeah, but
I was mad because you beat mine.
Yeah, it was definitely a good game. We were back and forth the whole time, and again, like I said, he got me on that trick play, sustained his drive, and he pulled out that win in overtime. So I thought he had beat me at the end of regulation, and somehow I blocked that field goal to keep my hopes alive, and unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But
just got dashed in overtime.
Yeah.
It's all right. Good performance, though. If you can string a couple more games together, who knows? You might be able to stick your nose into the playoffs.
A long way.
Moving over to week 8. Titans over the Ravens.
Yep. 4 picks for the Ravens in that game, or 4 turnovers for the Ravens in that game. Versus 1 for the Titans. I mean, that's,
real big.
Real big.
Yeah, like the guys, a lot of people can try to knock that. Who does he play? But that type of thing. He literally just beat the reigning Super Bowl champion that week, and pretty much was able to move the ball because he had the ball the whole time and turn Lamar Jackson over. So James Morgan's tossing the ball around, getting the job done. Hell, J.K. Dobbins with 69 yards rushing.
Yeah.
That's special. Marquise Brown had 310 yards passing, but the more you put it in the air, the more opportunity it has to pick it off. Fumbles a little less available. So hey, he's doing the right thing. Stringing these wins together, get enough of them together, it'll give you a ticket to the playoffs. Let's see, Colts over Houston.
Colts over
49-25.
Houston.
Wow. Big win for Sleep. Big win for Sleep. Keeps him in the conversation for the playoffs. Good division win. He's been kind of struggling in that division. So this is a prime win for them. Let's see.
Washington barely beat Miami.
What's that?
I said Washington barely beat Miami.
Yeah. Bullock did not want to go down in this game. Shoot 3-point win, 31-28.
Yeah.
It's good. A good measuring stick for Miami because Washington should be a playoff team. We'll see if that's actually going to be the thing. But good performance against a playoff team. They just got to string a couple more wins together to try and challenge for the NFC East title. Patriots, another win over the Bills, 35-17. Patriots are currently winning the division. I don't know why I had in my head the Bills were winning that division. Don't know why I thought that, but
he managed to managed to right the ship because he was struggling for a little bit.
Yeah, he was having problems just getting his game together. So big win, big win. Should continue to dominate that division. Hopefully, give him a playoff ticket. Keep going it that way. Keep going that way. Minnesota doing the thing over Tampa Bay. You lost to 10. You lost by 10 to the Chiefs, Hosian. You just can't get over the schneid. What's going on, man?
Yeah, they're close. I mean, they're close. I'll take those losses when they're close games, and you know, I actually and I jumped out on him early too, man. I was just like, I couldn't believe I was on top. I was like, getting turnovers. Mahomes was he was struggling for a little bit. I couldn't get those turnovers, convert them into touchdowns, and unfortunately when I made my mistakes, he capitalized and he was able to get that momentum and took the game from me. But I mean, it was a close game. These a couple games have been close. So I'm trying to, I'm not making it easy. Definitely not making it easy for these guys.
You're like Peter walking on water, man. You couldn't believe you're on the water. You look down, you start sinking. Browns at Seahawks. Seahawks able to hold home field, win by 3.
That's a good game.
These guys are coaches that used to be in the AFC and had a rivalry when Matt was a Charger. So I know this is an important win for the Chargers to stay ahead of the 49ers because I think they have the 49ers by a game and a half if you consider they beat them head to head. Both quarterbacks in this game look real good. Only 1 turnover. Russell Wilson had 4 touchdowns. Mayfield had 3. 20 more yards passing them almost. Rushing Chubb had a good day, but I'm sure that fumble Chubb had was really important. And again, these Seahawks, man, are not going away. They are what Frank Gore used to be called the inconvenient truth, man. They come in here. They were just in the Super Bowl last year, and they're established themselves as a threat this year. Quality win against Baker Mayfield and the boys at home, holding home field. Let's see. Anything else stand out this week? Ooh, your win against Chicago. Was that computer, Harris?
Yes, that was computer, yes.
Oh, I was about to say, bro.
Yeah, that was CPU.
Oh, okay. All right, well.
Nothing to talk about.
49ers all over the Giants, like we usually do. That's about it. It's got it out of hand early, 27 halftime, and at that point I just cruised to the end. And if Tiger were on the show, he'd tell you this. I don't know why, but I always seem to have a breakout message against Philly. every time he's played me in the last couple Madden since the breakout messages existed, he always has a guy that needs either 2 tackles or a certain amount of yards. I think his wide receiver, Greg Yell, superstar wide receiver, he needed something to become an X factor. He needed 200 yards to become an X factor, and he was 17 yards short. He had 6 catches for 183 yards. I'm sorry. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that. I did pretty good pass in that game, so, proud of myself. All right, moving to week 9. Let's see what looks good. I don't even know if that was an AP game or not. I think that was a human game. Jacksonville losing to Atlanta 41-35. But who the hell knows? It's the last season, so you kind of don't know what's going on with that.
It says it was played.
It was played, but that
doesn't
doesn't mean whether or not it was a human versus a human game. We're not sure. He's played a couple games. I just don't remember which one he has played. But Carolina doing this thing against the Bucs, 31-7. Nothing unusual there. Jets having another close game in their division, 14-21, losing to the Bills. I'll tell you, more life for Kenny, man. You're getting close.
Oh, wow.
Getting close.
Steelers and Browns.
Tell us about this, because I missed this game, Mike. I think I
know
was
because you fell asleep again. So first thing, this was my first game that I played with the new spectacles, so I could actually see the damn TV.
Glasses, yeah.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And I went in there offensively and defensively with different schemes that I have never run against Dill before. Anybody who knows me knows I don't blitz. I drop everybody back into coverage as much as possible. I blitzed. I had 3 interceptions in that game. 2 of them were from Baker getting hit. while he was throwing. Also sacked him twice in that game. So those 3 turnovers were a big deal.
Yeah, definitely. Also had a good day on the ground too. 138 on 26 carries.
And I think in the past 2 Maddens, that's the most I have rushed against Dill in a game. 150 yards total rushing. I average probably about 75 to 80 yards a game against Dill. Even like I said, the past 2 seasons when my rushing game has taken off, Dill has kept me under 100 consistently. I stopped Chubb too.
Yeah.
So
held him to just over 80 yards. That's impressive, man. Chubb is a problem.
Exactly. So everything worked out for me in that game.
So we have
despite those turnovers, he kept it close. So that's a good win.
Yeah, he's a good player. Eagles Giants, that rivalry, the Eagles over top of the Giants, 34-21. I didn't watch the game, but Tiger was not happy in this
Tiger
game.
took the first matchup, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Tiger took the first one. Brian took the second. Watched it. I mean, so at the end of the first half, Brian goes to kick a field goal with like 7 seconds left and get network errors as he's kicking the ball. So, of course, he missed it. So there was that. But, it was laggy, laggy for Tiger. So, yeah, there were issues and, he was upset about it. But I think Brian said he'd take Tiger's tears and fill his win cup. So
I like that. I'm gonna use that one.
That's what I told Brian. I said I'm using that one from now on.
Right. We got Seattle over the Rams. Very close game by 3. These are the important wins that get you in position for potentially the number 1 seed. Because they're challenging for that. I tell you, he's beating the teams he's supposed to beat. Like I said, these guys are a threat. I know that was probably an AP game.
Yeah.
Miami over the division-winning or leading Patriots. This was a big win for the Dolphins, 28-25 over the Patriots. I know I didn't see it because I was probably asleep. But Bullock needs to do what he did. Bench Tua Tagovailoa and start McDonald. And whenever he starts Cole McDonald, 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 144.3 quarterback rating. Matt Breida, 16 carries, 93 yards. I think Breida's the X factor now. Yeah, he can get his stuff together. He might be able to get into the playoffs, man, because it's because of recent events. It's wide the hell open. And I think that's about it. That game against the Chargers was a computer.
No, I played that game. We played.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a domination.
Yeah.
Were you expecting that to go like that?
Not really. Elias just got his X factor for that game, and I went. It started to go back to the Melvin days, and Elias went off. I mean, I every time I passed the ball with Herbert, it was a potential fix, but I said, well, forget it. Feed Elias. He came up with 22 attempts, 314 yards.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the Melvin Gordon days.
Yeah, it also helps your defense. Got 7 INTs.
Yeah, he just started just throwing the ball. So
wow.
I just happen to be in the vicinity at each time.
7 interceptions. Wow.
Yeah. One guy actually had 4 alone.
Yeah, Martin Truth, your free safety.
Yeah.
Truth Martin.
True, Martin.
Did he get a breakout message after that damn game?
No, because he's not a starter.
Roger that.
He's my second string.
Wow. Second stringer came and stepped up for the game.
Well, it was all user picks as far as the form.
Wow.
Yeah, all user picks.
Heading into the final week that we've played completely, week 10. Let's see, that wasn't played. Tampa Bay close game with Detroit.
Yeah, Ty, that was a good. I know he's watching, still playing his games, keeping him close.
Yes, man, that was a really, really close game. Those are 4 points.
Yeah.
Keep on trucking here.
Yeah.
Shocking upset alert.
Yeah.
Colts 36 at Carolina 33.
Who were undefeated up until that point.
They were undefeated. Man, big win. Sleep's getting his game together. We were talking last night. One of the times I wasn't asleep, we were talking, and he says he's the windows, past windows. It's old Madden term, but his vision's opening up. It's not so narrow. He's able to see more of the field, able to do better with completions and stuff. And he made Bridgewater turn the ball over 3 times, which helps. But Taylor, 162 yards on the ground, 21 carries. Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm sure that helped him a lot because he likes to run the ball. He's a big Cowboys fan, so X Factor running back, he's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
McCaffrey got the ball a whole lot with 10 receptions, 141 yards, which is amazing. But I think a couple passes and the picks he threw were to McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, to McCaffrey or Mercer. So that's probably what
overtime too.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. He is his top running back, rushing
And receiver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gonna
MVP.
put that man in the hospital. He gonna do.
Niners all over the Eagles. Looks like we're doing pretty good against the NFC East, except the Cowboys. Let's see. Houston over top of Pittsburgh. How did the game go, Mr. Mike?
So, and I'm not taking away from Tim's win here. Tim was in the party with me. Well, his 14-point win, yes, but it's 11 of those or 10 of those points were in the last 2.5 minutes.
Oh wow!
Yeah. He was in the party with me. I got real comfortable. There were a couple times where I was like, "Oh crap, that was third down." I didn't even realize it because we're just sitting there BSing. And I had a couple crossing routes that I was throwing. My guys are wide open. Nobody within 5 yards of them, and Winston overthrows.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, how does this happen to me? It's crazy.
Did you decide to try to pass more in this game? Because Muhammad was not only 10 carries, 60 yards.
Yeah. I just wanted to pass in this game.
Because I'm seeing you have like Brooks and other guys. I'm like, I wonder if you changed up from what you normally do. I know Kareem Hunt.
I did. I did change up. I was throwing a lot more. There were plays where pass interference. I mean, his cornerback hit Chase Claypool on the 1 yard line on a bomb. I mean, hit him and knocked him out of bounds before the ball even got there, and they didn't call it. And I'm like, come on. So I mean, things didn't go my way at home.
Now
he
you know
played
why.
A great game. He did play a great game. Like I said, a lot of his points came in the last couple of minutes of the game. pulled off a couple of long runs at the end because I was thinking pass and he'd run it. So,
So he
I read
outcoached you.
wrong and he outcoached me.
Tennessee, they're beating Atlanta. That's crazy. 56-25.
Dominate Atlanta. This is again, Tennessee's a new team. Atlanta was in the season 1 Super Bowl, I think, right?
Yeah.
So this is not just some slouch he just beat. Justin Christian is handling his business and beating quality opponents. He's showing his record as he's legit.
Absolutely. Dorian Rhodes, the Patriots, is watching.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Dorian?
Looks like we got 10 viewers watching right now.
Okay.
So
that's what it says. I don't see who they are though.
Right. Could be other people though too that we're not that out in
Chiefs. Chiefs with a real important win, playoff. Seeding important at this point with week 10. It's just the 7 weeks to go.
That loss to the Chargers and came back to beat the Vikings.
49-42. Minnesota needs to keep pace with the Bears and the Packers. So this loss, I'm sure, hurts them. Rams all over the Cardinals. I think that was probably
AP probably.
AP game.
AP game.
Did these two actually play each other, Dill and
Yes.
Okay.
I think he started the game without a disconnect.
Okay.
Yeah, but it said.
Oh, really? So this was a sim.
Yeah, I think the Jazz started.
Okay. Hold on one second. You guys can go. I gotta deal with something real quick.
Oh, okay.
You went ahead and got one up on the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, my defense felt. It was a late night game. I didn't know if I was gonna manage it, but got on there, played, and my defense stepped up. I think that's the first time I've actually been able to beat Sean in that manner. Usually he dominates me, but my run defense stepped up big on a few drives.
Yeah,
like I said, I got the ball, and I had a few. I know he had me scoring wise. I was scoring field goals, and then later in the second half, I was able to sustain a couple drives, got a few scores on the ground, and then that INT at the end. But I think at that point I already had it. I was up 10, so that INT was just a nail on a coffin at that point. But and I think the biggest difference too is Love. It's having Love versus having Aaron Rodgers is a big difference.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely a big difference.
So yeah, but my defense stepped up big that game. I was able to get turnovers, and I was actually able to capitalize on those turnovers and score. So definitely a big upset for. I know he wasn't expecting me to take that game, but definitely a big win for me. Considering the 2 games prior were close games as well, I was able to pull this one out. So I think you were actually watching it because I didn't see the comments until after.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, well, damn, this defense is going pretty damn good on the run. Jeez. But your run defense has definitely stepped up this season, and offensively, you definitely.
It absolutely has. Your run defense, has been really good this year. I think you're actually the number 1 rushing defense.
Yeah,
we're pretty close.
Oh wow. Yeah, I got a couple injuries, so I'm surprised that I've been able to fill those holes. I got 2 guys injured but the guys the backups are stepping up. So unfortunately, it's last season, so it may not make a difference. Hopefully next match I can keep that momentum going and get my defense right and keep myself in some of these games. Because I think there was 2, I believe there was 2 goal line stops that I had that were big. That made I forced him to hit the field goals versus touchdowns. So that definitely did help.
Oh yeah.
And then there's that what is the last one is New England and the Giants, another big win the Patriots pulled off 30-27.
They definitely needed that.
Pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
sitting there like, I was about to say so. I got cut right off by a Jedi. Yes.
I have the high ground. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the Giants. They need this win to keep pace in that division.
He's still on the road, right? He's playing on the road as he can at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Tiger, for being on the road and still playing your games, man. That's impressive.
That's dedication. That's the FNG dedication.
Yeah.
He's only 2 games out of first place, though.
It's really dedication, especially when you got your Xbox connected to a flip phone. So probably reception so well and all that stuff.
And that's it, right? Other than that one game that stands out, we're good, right, on this week.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was that kind of was week 10.
And
on week 11,
now.
How many games were played?
Carolina took a big.
Carolina, yes.
Man, that game, boy. Dorian put his foot down.
Dorian
he established dominance.
Dorian came into that fourth quarter and said, "It's my damn division."
Wow, yeah.
I don't care if you're leading right now. It's my damn division.
Yeah. But you know what makes it even more lovely is like after the game, like the comments usually people have, whether it's positive and negative and in between. Like Joe Williams said, "I'm going to remember this for the next time we play."
Oh, he'll remember too.
So, yeah.
And that's back-to-back losses for him too.
Yeah.
Against quality opponents though. So
yeah.
He anything else stand out here?
Titans and the Browns.
Titans Browns. I watched this game. I had a conversation about the viability of the Titans for this playoff run that they seem to be on, this magical season. And the only thing I could point out to is their inexperience being their downfall, at least the way they're going. And if I had to predict, and I'm giving you guys a prediction now, they're going to get in the playoff, win a game, and then lose. Because watching this game, I'm just telling you, watching this game, he wasn't playing like a champion because Dill's a 5-time champion. You know what I mean? So it's not a slouch, the guy he just beat, but he was up 28 to 7, I think.
28 to 7, yeah.
And was still passing the ball and ended up throwing a pick that Dill turned into points. And this is with a little over 5 minutes in the fourth. And if anybody knows Dill's offense, Dill can score, the blink of an eye. And obviously Dill's fighting for his division in the playoffs. That type of gameplay, look, I'm not saying he did anything wrong or anything like that. He's his game. But he was going for it on fourth down in places where he probably should have punted for field position. And yeah, that's aggressive. But what I found over time, that type of aggressiveness can bite you in the ass. And when you got these teams in the playoffs who are trying to actually win a title versus just win a game, you're gonna end up losing. And there's guys like the Chiefs will surprise you. Now, if his record stays undefeated, he might end up just being having a bye and not have to worry about it.
Right.
But you never know, man. I just, I caution Mr. Christian, Justin. I caution you to, put them games away so you don't have to worry about injury and or a comeback. And that's really all the games that Hossein, you dominated the Colts. Yeah. Have you played them before?
I think I played him when he was a Titan.
When he was Titans? Right? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you had similar success?
No, the first matchup we had, he got me, but I was struggling. I was trying to find, I kind of got
how to play the game.
Yeah, I kind of got my run game going. I got my defense going. I'm kind of in a rhythm now. So my defense came up big. I think I had 4 turnovers, if I'm not mistaken. I think I had 4 interceptions, 3 interceptions, and I was
4 turnovers.
I was able to get in the fumble. Yeah, and I was able to take all those drives and score. So That's key for me. Just when I get them turnovers, turn them into points.
Capitalize, man.
Because like you guys say, these guys, everybody, even if I'm not playing Dill, anybody can score quick.
Right.
So it's you just gotta watch out, take advantage of it, and keep the momentum going. But yeah, I mean, my rookie, the guy I picked up, and he's my starter. I mean, as long as he can manage my games and let my running backs do the rest, I'm good to go.
Who Roddy DeVoe?
That's right.
Who is he? Is he related to Bell Biv?
I have no idea, dude. He was just out there. So I was like, let me just try him. But
Yeah.
Logan had another big game, 206
He
yards.
damn sure did.
So, yeah.
Well, that's all the games. Pretty much significant games for games of the week. Got a couple more games this week. Chargers, Vikings, and let's see. Watch the football team, Patriots.
Yeah, that'd be a good game. Eagles, Dolphins be a good game.
Packers, Bears. So
Yeah, Bears will be a good one.
Is he back now? He's done with that week?
Yeah, he's back. He's
Okay.
back. He's trying to schedule it. So, so that's all the games we got. I guess the next stage is the top 10.
Yeah, let me get that up for.
All right.
That going. Let me see.
My first time doing this, gentlemen. Y'all bear in bed with me. Should be pretty hilarious. Embarrass myself on TV.
Nah, you'll be all right, man. Squared away. Make sure I do my part here.
Yeah, gotta have a good direction.
Okay. Oops.
While we're doing this, are any chats that we've missed?
No, not really.
None.
Ty said he fixed his. Said he fixed his thing, so we should be able to take clips from his games now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it. It's happening. It says 11 viewers, but I hit participants and it shows 4. So I don't know what's going on.
Ready when you are. All right. The FNG top 10 list. Coming in at number 10, we have the 6-3 Rams. The Rams are currently on a 1-game winning streak after taking losses from the Cowboys, Bengals, and a close loss to the Super Bowl runner-up Seahawks. And coming in now at number 9, we have the 6-3 Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are on a 1-game winning streak. They have 2 losses to the Chargers and 1 loss to the Packers. Coming in at number 8, we have the 6-3 Washington football team. They currently have losses to the Seahawks, Bills, and the Cowboys. All right, coming in at number 7, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Unfortunately, this is a CPU-operated team due to some unsuccessful 007 espionage. But the team still, recorded a win to the Colts, so I kept them in the
Steelers.
top 10.
And Steelers.
Okay, and Steelers. Okay. They currently have losses to the Ravens, 49ers, and Seahawks. All right, coming in at number 6, we have the 7-3 Ravens. This team just recently became a CPU-operated team, but still deserves to be in the top 10, in my opinion. Only because the Bengals beat the Colts, so why can't the Ravens go ahead and beat the usual team? So that's just my opinion. I'm just saying. All right. Going into number 5, we have the 7-3 49ers. The 49ers have taken some unfortunate losses to the Cowboys, Rams, and Seahawks, but bounced back with a 4-game winning streak, looking to make a playoff run, which I believe probably will happen because he's a Jedi. All right, coming in at number 4, we have the 8-2 Carolina Panthers. Panthers started up the season strong with an 8-0 record, then had 2 unfortunate losses to the Colts and the Falcons. The Panthers look like a team that can still secure home field advantage if they get their momentum back, which I believe he probably will, within a few games or even now. You never know. All right. Coming in number 3, we have the 8-2 Seattle Seahawks. All right. Although the Seahawks have taken 2 losses from the Giants and the Ravens, I believe Matt's still showing that playoff caliber gameplay that excelled them in the playoffs, excelled them to the playoffs, maybe even to the NFC Championship or the bowl. You never know. Even though he's still running only 5 plays, yeah, he's still successful. And I put him in number 3. All right. Number 2, we have the Los Angeles, any squad, any place, Superchargers. I got to talk my shit.
Talk that shit.
The Chargers started the season strong. Currently still undefeated. Defeated some key playoff teams from the last season. And we're looking to make a push for the number 1 seed. And we're going to go from there. We're not going to predict anything. Because last time I did that, I got my ass kicked by the 49ers. And the Bengals. All right. And at number 1, we have the Tennessee Titans. Why not? The new owner went from not making the playoffs last season to coming off a strong 10-0 season right now and still going. I believe he's going to go ahead and go beat his next opponent. Sorry, you don't like what I said. It is what it is. Let me see what else happened here. He defeated playoff teams like the Jags, Broncos, Texans, Ravens, Falcons, and the Browns. I think if he keeps this momentum, he may be able to make a good playoff run. How far he'll go, we'll just have to see from there. But that is your FNG top 10 rankings list. Any discrepancy with anybody?
Good job, Devo. Nah, I can't argue with that top 10 at all.
Definitely a good shakeup. Some teams up there that I wouldn't expect, but
yeah, I spent all day on this. I was mind boggled.
Yeah. It's the number 1 team. The number 1 and number 2 teams are having a really good run. They're the teams that beat this year. Obviously, this top 10 is our gift to you, FNG. We want you to beat these teams and get yourself talked about. Because when that stuff happens, you know what I mean? We have some of these teams that are on here have taken losses to teams that are not on here. You know what I mean? So every game is important. You think it's not. You think you just want to get over the season and go to the next 9. Play your game because you never know what can happen, man. Get them games done. Schedule them. Get them done. We're talking about just 2 hours of your time. But the only thing we have now, Mr. Hosian, is league news. Because within, what do you say, 6 weeks? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 7 weeks.
yes,
We had a shit ton of things happen.
Dorian Rose said he's not worthy after seeing the top 10. He says CPU teams killing it.
Hey, man, these teams are getting wins. So, it's only right, at least for this week. I doubt it's going to be next. If they still have a winning record by next show, I will be amazed. But anything's possible. So I guess first thing we look into is we have 2 currently computer run teams. One of them is the Super Bowl champion Ravens, and the other one is the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm not sure. I want to say the Ravens were penalized during the season for not managing their team and essentially having their trading ability taken away from them. Right, so they were in the middle of a penalty, and So we had essentially taken away their trade. I don't remember what the actual whole sanction was. That I'm it's my apologies, but I do know that was one of the penalties that they had. No trading for the remainder of that Madden 22. And then after that, we had another sanction handed out to the Bengals, where do you remember what team they were playing?
Steelers.
It was the Steelers? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
They were playing the Steelers, and we, as a league, we asked our for the quality of the show, the YouTube show, we asked that our owners broadcast their games. And, if it's not obvious, it should be. You're not supposed to be viewing your opponent's game while you're playing the game. There is no legitimate excuse for doing it, and it's happened twice before. And quite frankly, I believe we went light on the two with warnings relative, to the offense. And here we are with the third time of it happening. This is something we consider cheating. Now, if I say something's cheating, that doesn't mean that was the owner's intention. You know what I mean? There could be a great excuse, but in the end, all we see is what we see. So, we ended up having to penalize the Bengals. We essentially suspended them for the remainder of the season. This is the final season, so Billups is going to have to essentially wait until Madden 22 for his first game. And then a couple weeks after that, we had another incident. We had it's a game between the
Bills and Ravens.
The Bills and Ravens. And we essentially had a repeat of a penalty, probably one of the most heavily sanctioned penalties we've had in the league. The game ended up being 84-70. And suffice to say, when we penalized the last game, they didn't even score this many points. We've had essentially multiple witness accounts as to what happened during the game, because obviously we have to do some type of investigation as to why the game ended up like that. And after gathering all the information, Hosian and I essentially decided on sanctioning both teams that participated in it. That just for, so people see what happened in the game. We're going to go over some of the stats real quick. Lamar Jackson had 639 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Josh Allen had 589 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Rushing, Melvin Gordon had 16 carries for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins, 14 rushes, 49 yards. Receiving, Marquise Brown, 7 catches, 458 yards, 7 touchdowns. Robert Foster, 5 catches for 192 yards, 2 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, 5 receptions for 176 yards. And those last 2 receivers, 38.4 yards per catch and 35.2 yards per catch, respectively. These guys are scoring at a pace, especially in the second half, that just were against the histories of these two teams. Meaning, the only thing I could compare it to is imagine one of the teams that never made the playoffs all of a sudden have a 50-point half. Because the team we're talking about, the Bills, they haven't scored over 34, 35 points in any of the games this season. And against Super Bowl champion, they're going to score 50 points in one half. No. What we believe happened is the Bills essentially gave up in that game. Okay. And just started letting the other team score. That's what we believe happened. And I believe, as well as Hossein, peer pressure caused the Ravens to make bad decisions. They were already on a high scoring pace. They said, well, let me see if we can score 100. And in the end, you have to be responsible for your actions. The Ravens had complete control of this game. I don't believe the Ravens just all of a sudden in the second half couldn't stop. I refuse to believe that. There was just too much out of whack there. And then to take their foot off the accelerator at the end just so it doesn't look to try and avoid a sanction, it's insulting, actually.
So I want to interject.
Sure.
I watched the game.
Okay.
So number one, at no point in that game was he even eligible for a sanction. You can score as many points as you want into the third quarter. And I posted one of he blatantly let him score where he tried to get the interception. It bounced off of one receiver. The other Bills receiver caught the touchdown. That is not blatantly allowing anybody to score. Melvin Gordon was shedding tackles like crazy in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ravens were not allowing the Bills to just go down and score. Diggs was making remarkable receptions, triple teamed on the sideline, catching the ball, toe tapping. So as someone who was watching the game, what you believe happened did not happen. It just, like I said, Gordon was shedding tackles like crazy, running through. Yes, Tillman did pull defenders and allowed the Ravens to score a couple times. He's not the only person that's ever done that.
Right.
We've had a lot of people do that in games.
Okay.
They've never been sanctioned for it. And I know what I'm saying isn't changing what your decision.
Well, it's important for you to. It's important.
I believe
for you to
it's
get
the wrong
your opinion out.
decision. Yeah. Had this game been recorded, I don't think you guys would have made that decision. Yes, the stats do give one story, but that's not the story from my eyes. And I was watching the game.
Okay, and I appreciate your perspective, and your opinion was taken to account when we made this decision. You were not the only one that watched it, and obviously your opinion was not the only one that we had to take into consideration.
Absolutely.
And obviously, we have to interview all the witnesses to the account. So it wasn't just so everyone knows, it wasn't just the stats. See, that's all. When I pushed the sanction out, that's kind of what I just gave, because I try not to. When we put these sanctions out, we have to watch how we post it, because if I say you purposely were trying to do this, it's because I believe that's what you were purposely trying to do. Now, whether you were doing it the entire time, whether you're doing it on one or two plays, we can debate that all day long. The Ravens had complete control of this game. If what I'm being told is all of a sudden the Bills became unstoppable in the second half, I don't believe that.
Well,
and to be quite honest, although you disagree, it's up to us to make that determination.
Like I said, had this game been recorded, it would have been a different outcome. I thoroughly believe that.
Well, unfortunately, the decision was made and had to be made based on what happened. And what the Ravens got was different than what the Bills got because their participation was different. And the Bills got essentially Foster, Diggs, and Allen and Gordon suspended for the season. He can finish the season, Tillman being the owner of the Bills, but he has to play without those players. So he has to do whatever he has to do to finish the season, get his, potentially make the playoffs if he can, do his best to finish the season. And Madden 22, those 4 players will be suspended as well for the first 8 games. Now, what the Ravens got was a little different because they were a repeat offender of this type of letting your opponent score. And they got essentially removed from the league and put on the waiting list, the back of the waiting list. Okay. So essentially, if, we have somebody leave or, somebody comes in and says, hey, we can't keep up with the game with, 2 games a week. Obviously, we've had people leave and come back and they were on the waiting list for a while. But unfortunately, he's going to have to be on the waiting list based on his performance in this game. And I think that should be a pretty clear explanation as to what happened to both guys. As far as that's my best way of, without reading it directly off of the page, what the penalty was. I hope that clarifies what happened, at least in our perspective. This is not something, as I always say, something I want to do. It's like I hate doing it, but a lot of the people that watch the game and watch this really were upset with what they saw by both guys. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Hosian.
No, you pretty much laid it out there. Do you have anything there, Harris? I know you were trying to chime in and.
Oh, if I cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No. Now you said that you don't believe that the Bills pretty much turned into a team that could just score against this, high caliber Ravens defense, right?
Mm-hmm. Score 50 points and a half. Yeah.
Now, in the chat, all of you in the chat, everyone that's watching, have y'all ever heard of this term from Madden called DDA?
Yes.
Dynamic difficulty adjustment. Something we have no control over. Even commissioners don't have control over. During the game, if a team is beating the crap out of another team, the I guess you want to call it the engine program, whatever, it adjusts that team's ratings to actually be slightly bumped down for certain plays for the losing team. And things like that could happen. Like I said, I was watching the game too. I was in the party also. Those receivers were catching passes that were amazing. Seriously. I mean, from the tip pass that Mike posted to a pass in triple coverage to Stephon Diggs, and he catches the ball. I mean, like damn man, in the damn end zone. He's in the red zone at that time, but it was close. It was a lot of crazy things going in that game. Melvin was looking like the Melvin of old. That's why I made that post myself saying it. I mean, this is just for future reference. I know we can't do anything about the sanctions or anything, but for future reference, DDA is real, gentlemen. It is real. It can happen. It's happened to me in season 2 and 3. So I'm just letting you know.
Well, I appreciate your input, sir. I apologize for cutting you off.
And you can Google it.
I'm aware of the term. That's the Mario Kart thing, when you get in the lead, they do their best to make you come back. Not to restate, but we don't believe that was the case here. And we are where we are now. Moving forward, I contacted that cool, handsome guy, Mikey J, or the King of L's, to see if he wanted to take over the Ravens for the remainder of the season. I just contacted him. I got no answer. I'm sure there are people in the league who know him and want to get him back in the league because he had to leave for personal reasons, didn't do anything wrong, type of thing. And if he wants to come back and come in and join the Ravens, he's already on the page still. Kept him on the page because I knew I wanted to get him back into the league. He can come right in and play with the Ravens. Now, obviously, as Hossein and I discussed as well, there's going to have to potentially be a shift. Someone else might want the Ravens. So he's going to have to take whatever team is left if there's any team switching. But, we can potentially get an owner in for the Ravens to finish the team out. I think that's all I have. What about you, Hossein?
No, I don't have anything. I think we've covered all the league news. We've gone over everything. Yeah, we are at this point.
I do have one more thing. We'll always have one more thing. If we stay on our current advanced schedule, I kind of check the days. Let's say we get no early advances and we stay on our schedule. August 28th, the Super Bowl will be played. Saturday, August 28th, which is potentially a week after the official launch date. Now, our playoffs are usually faster than that. So I'm sure we're going to have at least 2 advances. So I'd expect us to be done before, at least 3 to 4 days before the launch of Madden. But, we can't determine what's going to happen until it actually happens. And I think that's it. I think that now I'm done. I don't have anything else.
Okay. I think that's it then.
It's a good show. Glad we were able to get it together.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't have 7 weeks to get together. But we got it done pretty quick though.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Mike, getting those as always, the clips. You did have a lot, so I appreciate that. Harris, appreciate you, assisting with the top 10 there. So as always, gentlemen, appreciate
investing
y'all.
your time.
Yeah, thank you. And Mike, I'll get with you offline and we'll figure things out. Hopefully we can get the shows
Right.
on a regular basis. And as always, gentlemen, though, guys watching and making comments, appreciate y'all joining us. And that's it. Oh, here he goes. Will everyone need the new Xbox for the new Madden before we head off? That's Ty was asking that.
Oh, if it wasn't mentioned before, we are moving over to the new Xbox for the new Madden. I did a post recently. Yeah, that was another thing we did that happened. I did a post recently, and it looks like we have 7 people who don't have the system right now. So we usually don't start when the game launches. Usually September 1st or later is when we start. Wait for the real rosters and updates for statistics or attributes. But if you don't have it, I would suggest getting your pennies together. If you can't find it, there's an app called the Hot Stock app. That's how I got mine. A day after downloading the Hot Stock app, I ended up getting mine. I think me and Joe Williams got ours the same day.
I think Billups got his soon after.
Billups got his right at the same time too.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that, and I think like I kind of mentioned before in the chat, with games like Madden, games that sell millions of copies, they have to kind of flood the market so these copies can be bought for new owners. So I feel that Target and Walmart and the Best Buy are going to have more systems, but that app makes sure you get it when it comes into stock. So my suggestion would be to download that.
Yeah, shout out to Thomas for letting everyone
Thomas
know.
Lanning, the Cowboys owner.
And you too, Mike. You always, every time you see it, you quick to post something and say, hey, So I appreciate that. They have the S. I want the X, so I may have to bite the bullet and get the S because they seem to have that more available than the X.
They've got the X on Microsoft all the time now. Every
I've
couple
been looking.
days.
I've been trying. Yeah, I go there every day pretty much now.
And
And we're
Target
paying
Walmart.
retail. We're
Yes.
paying retail price. We're not paying more.
Yep.
Like none of these people, at least I didn't,
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you.
So
All right, fellas.
Yeah.
Then again, thanks again. Like I said, hopefully we'll get these shows consistently on, and